Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek. I'm here with Jeff Gamble, and Jeff somehow finagled his way into an advanced copy of Phil Eklund's Greenland, which is coming from Sierra Madre Games. Ideally for Spiel 2014 October, as long as everything works out okay. And we're going to look at what's inside this tiny little box here. This is, again, Jeff is not a Greenland expert. We're getting an overview here, and if people know Phil Eklund's games, then they know there's a lot going on.
Absolutely, and this game's no exception. So Greenland, the way the game is it's themed in the history of Greenland. So we're looking at the time when the Vikings came and were interacting with the two indigenous peoples of Greenland, okay? And so the game is really about survival, to be quite honest with you. You're going to be attempting to go out and hunt in the different biomes that are available in North Greenland and South Greenland. You're going to be attempting to grow your population through successful hunting will allow you to have babies and infants and grow your population, which is going to allow you to bring in more cubes of your color to your play area, which of course will allow you more opportunities to both hunt. It'll also allow you to start to send some of your cubes to the New World. So we have Markland and Vinland, which are two historic areas that the Vikings eventually reached in their exploration, and that's modeled in this game. And then we also have the indigenous populations of these regions as well, who will start to push back against you if your population and the population of other people grows too large in these new regions. So over the course of the game, what you're going to be trying to do is you're going to be trying to increase your tribe's knowledge and technology, and that's primarily going to be done through the use of these event cards. We see a large stack here, but only 10 are used in the game. And each round we're going to flip over an event, and we are going to resolve the effects of the event from left to right. And there's many different kinds of things that can happen. There can be migration, which is going to change your card row here. You're going to be adding to the card row. You can have elder death, symbolized by the winged helmet, because every group has elders. And these elders, you start with one of each, are going to give you some special abilities, some special powers, some things that you can do. So elder death is going to happen from time to time, and you're going to lose your elders. Some of your unassigned hunters, your basic hunters, you can then kind of promote to the status of an elder so that you don't permanently lose that ability. You can have multiples of each type of elder. In case you suffer an elder death, you'll still have the ability. For example, the Mariner allows you to move your cubes from your indigenous home to the New World or to the south. So the Vikings begin in the south. They must have a Mariner to go to the northern biomes, for example, to hunt. Several players can be on a card, can go and try to hunt the same area, at which point you can either have conflict over the hunting ground, you're going to have one round of combat, and then see who's left standing and then resolve the hunt. You could have negotiations, and there's a negotiation aspect in this game which I really like. You can trade resources such as energy, okay, ivory, which is the white discs, or iron, very rare, very valuable. So you can trade those perhaps to peacefully convince people to go somewhere else and allow you to hunt there, or to try to gain the advantage of the card. Or you can perhaps arrange a marriage with one of your daughters. The Vikings start off with 2 daughters, and the other 2 indigenous groups start off with 3 daughters. And one of the neat things is that each of these young ladies has a specific ability, something they're really good at. And when the husband joins them, he now transfers that knowledge back to his home group or his home tribe. Right. So it's another way that you can make yourself more efficient and more versatile. So after we resolve the events, then if there is a Viking ship, that's going to give you the opportunity for trade. And you're going to bid ivory, the white discs, ivory that you've collected through hunting, and whoever wins the bid is going to gain this advantage, okay? So this is an imported sword. This would be a steel sword, which would be unknown in this region at that time. And this is going to allow you in combat, as symbolized by the archer symbol, to re-roll 5s and 6s that you might roll during a combat. So it gives you more opportunities to modify the die rolls. There is dice rolling in this game, I think primarily because so much of the game is about hunting, and you really can't make a game like this where
without
it's
a chance element there.
Yes. And so hunting is not only subject to a die roll, but depending on what you're hunting, some of your prey may bite back. So, for example, if we look on this side, if you are hunting a narwhal and you are successful, you're going to get an ivory, you're going to get 2 energy, and you're going to get 3 babies.
3 baby.
Okay? Because you fed your people. This indicates the number of successful hunt rolls you have to make, either a 1 or a 2. You need 2 of them in order to successfully hunt. But any 3s you roll, that narwhal killed one of your hunters. So they go to Valhalla. They may come back again as a baby or a newborn later in the game. So every environment is different. If you are successful in a hunt, sometimes you will get trophy points, victory points, that you can add to your display. And that's one of the ways that you can win the game. However, in order to gain this card, you need to have doubles or triples, etc. So you'll gradually build up some victory points depending on which group you are. And then as a final little twist, the game also deals with 2 other issues. The first is global warming, or I'm sorry, global cooling. So used to saying global warming. In this case, global cooling. There will be event cards that will come up that will tell you that things are getting colder. And so what will happen is these cards will migrate and move to the cold side of North Greenland or of South Greenland. And the difference here is that now you must have on the cold side a 1 to have a successful hunt. Makes it much harder. And so over the course of the game, there's actually more cards than this in a normal setup. We just don't have the space to show it. But these cards will start to cycle to the cold side, and that's one of the ways the game can end as well. So there's all kinds of just brutal, as you would expect, choices to make. It's all about survival. Sometimes you will be nearly extinct. There is player elimination in this game, and you can come back. And sometimes the weather stays nice and warm, and it's a much more peaceful, forgiving game, and other times it'll smack you around. So it's a very fun and engaging game. And the last twist is that everybody starts off as a polytheist, but the Vikings can actually send missionaries and force you to flip to your monotheism side. And when you flip to your monotheistic side, either voluntarily or by force, then your elders' effects change, and there's now going to be different abilities for those elders. And all of those wonderful trophy points that you were collecting are now worth nothing. On the monotheism side, you want to collect resources and ivory and iron. That's going to get you points. Sending missionaries on cards is going to get you points. But on the polytheism side, it's all about those antler cards and those victory points. So there's a lot of tension. The game is for 2 to 3 players only, and it should be available for Essen Spiel, we're hoping.
So 2 and 3. With 2, you just take out one of the...
Yes, with 2, you would take out one of the indigenous populations. I believe you can also take out the Vikings if you wish. It's not necessary to play with the Vikings. It would just be 2 out of the 3. There's also some modifications to the setup here as to, excuse me, how many biome cards are available when you start the game.
Okay. No, it's got a 1 to 3 on the box here. Do you know anything about a solo play?
Solo mode. I have not personally played the solo mode yet, so I don't really think I can talk intelligently about it, unfortunately, but that is baked in here. And as you can see, the mechanics of the game lend themselves, I think you can probably see how it would play solo. And going for survival, of course, and then victory point totals and things of that nature. So that's all baked into the rules here. And this is one of the first Sierra Madre games that I've seen that has a nice full color rule book with some illustrations and iconography, much clearer than, say, PAX was. As much as I love PAX Porfiriana, sometimes that rule book was a little difficult. Here we have nice gutters showing you the different icons. So this game, I think, is going to be a little easier to pick up and play than some of Mr. Eklund's other games. So that's what I can tell you about Greenland.
All right. Thanks very much for the overview, Jeff. Taking the time.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Eric.
Yeah.